Okay. I've decided, since I don't upload much on my channel here, that kind of need to upload a few things here and there. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and start making some videos on various electronic items I have just laying around the house, just kind of up on shelves and stuff. It'll range from stereo receivers, DVD players, record players, VCRs, maybe a TV or two. Currently, my family and I are renting a house from my uncle. Now, my uncle, at the moment, has a very, very successful electronics business. He makes all kinds of stuff, so he's been into electronics for years. So when he moved out, he left a bunch of his electronic stuff here. So his electronic stuff, my electronic stuff combined, is actually quite a list here. Some of the stuff he's had forever. It's you know, I have a stereo receiver that's probably 45 years old. TVs, a lot of the stuff is mine. There's a handful of things that he left here that are going to be quite interesting, that I think would make some cool videos. So with that being said, I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna upload a video every single day. I don't have that kind of time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and figure out different things to record, to make videos of, and post. I think for right now, I'm just going to use my phone. I do have a video camera, digital video camera, but it's not working well, and I don't have the correct memory card for it. So the first couple of these are probably going to be on my phone, so the quality is not going to be all that great. Probably audio won't be that great either. Seeing that my phone's going on 3 years old. So anyway, and when the video might be a little shaky because of the phone, that type of thing. Also, I'm shooting a lot of this in my basement. So the deal is that I am literally, I would say, 4 foot away from where my furnace is. This is pretty much the best. This little workbench here is about the best lighting that I have in the basement. So a lot of the videos I'm just going to be putting the receivers or record players, whatever, on this workbench and just taking videos of them. I'm not going to get too far involved in them. Maybe just kind of a brief history. You know, demonstrate how they work, if they work. Some of the things work, some of the things don't work, some of the things don't work well. So some of the things that do work, I'll probably try to go ahead and give like a visual demonstration to. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start with this video. Will be the stereo receiver that you see in front of me. Now, it's a Sony receiver. It's, for those that want to know, it's a STR-D565. It was real popular in the mid-90s. I got it in 1996. It's part of a surround sound unit. Excuse me. It came with the receiver. It came with 2 pretty good sized speakers. I can't remember off the top of my head what size they are. So it has that, and it had 2 surround speakers and a center channel speaker. And it all came in a box. It was surround sound. Back in 1996, I worked at Walmart at the time, and and in those days, you got a 10% discount off just about anything you would buy there. So I believe, and I'm going back quite a few years. I believe this entire system cost me right around I'd say $360. And, you know, of course, with the discount, it was less than that. It's been pretty much I've had it the entire time. It's been, let's see, it's been in probably 7 different houses. It's been hooked up in every single house. Currently, right now, it's just going to be, which it already is, it's just kind of my basement stereo, my work area stereo. The house we live in has a half-finished basement. It has a unfinished side of the basement, which is where I'm going to be filming most of these videos. So anyway, this stereo is in the unfinished part. It still works. Everything still works on it. Currently, I have some speakers that were my uncle's. I'll show you those here in a second. I have another Sony receiver upstairs in my front room, and it actually is it's a bigger and badder one than this one, but that one works pretty good for upstairs. So I have the speakers that came with this receiver hooked up to that receiver. Like I said, these speakers I have hooked up, or actually my uncle's. I don't know if I said that or not. But they are my uncle's, and they were upstairs in a bookcase for years. And they sound pretty good. It's going to be hard to play anything because of YouTube's copyright stuff. And plus, you can't really get the full effect of the sound on a little cell phone. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you how this thing sort of works. I still have the remote to it. It still works. I cleaned it up not too long ago, scrubbed it down real good. I actually took it apart, cleaned all the crud out of it and stuff like that. So it still works. I can still turn it on with the remote. You know, it comes on. You know, it's got the various functions, you know. And this receiver was manufactured back in when they were still it has Dolby Surround Pro Logic, which is, I believe, 5.1 if I'm not mistaken. It's a 130 watt receiver. It actually sounds pretty good. So anyway, the remote's just got various, you know, your typical remote. And then it's got, you know, it's got the volume control. That's, you know, electronic. It's got bass boost. It's got the muting. It's got bass and treble knobs. I'm gonna go ahead and get my phone off my little pod. Whatever this thing is, and I'm gonna go ahead and get a little closer with it. If it's shaky, I apologize. So, get a little closer on some of this stuff. I know it's a little dirty. I just set this up probably a couple of weeks ago. Just really haven't cleaned it yet. Just want to make sure it's going to work before I go through all the time and trouble. It's got various modes on it. It's got direct tuning. You can see all the different inputs right along the line here. Speaker controls, stuff like that. All kinds of different buttons. There's the surround on and off. There's the center level, the rear level. You got the bass boost. You got the muting. I think I already said that. You got the balance control. So I can turn it on tuner real quick. Let me turn this down a little bit. I'm not gonna turn it on too long. Oh, what I was also saying was this was also manufactured in the days where they had a audio medium called Laserdisc, and this actually has a thing for that. So About 10 years ago, I had this hooked up. I actually had the surround sound part of this when I had my other house. I had the surround speakers set up. I had everything going. And whenever on a movie, I could put it on, I believe I had it on video. And then for just regular TV, I would put it on the TV LD side of it. So anyway, let me hit the tuner real quick. Sometimes these buttons stick. I'm not going to turn this up very loud because it's late at night. I have my wife upstairs sleeping. But you can just change the various... It's got the buttons. You can change that kind of thing. So anyway, that's kind of all it does. Like I said, it has surround sound, but I don't have surround sound speakers hooked up. Like I said, this is just my work area stereo for now. I just decided to hook it up for a while, see if it's going to work, because this hasn't been plugged in and turned on, aside from a couple weeks ago when I put it over here. It hasn't really done much. I haven't had it hooked up, so some of the controls are still kind of sticky. I think some of the capacitors got a little weird. They need to just kind of fill back up or whatever they need to do. But anyway, that's pretty much it with that receiver. And like I said, I'm going to have a lot more stuff going on. And I'm going to go ahead, since I have this one going, I'm going to go ahead and include the CD player that's on top of it. This one is a Sony as well. It is a CDP-211. It was manufactured in, I believe, 92 or 93. This actually was my cousin's, and they lived here for a short while. They lived here for a couple months, and they decided that they didn't really want it, because they were going to get a lot better stereo system and stuff like that. So I don't know a lot about this. I really haven't used it all that much, but it's got all kinds of buttons over here. If my phone would focus a little bit. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Like I said, I haven't messed with it much. And it works. I mean, it comes on, powers up, and there's a disc in there. I don't know what disc's in there, but I'm not gonna play it. So, but I like it because it may be a few years older than the receiver, but I like the idea that both the displays kind of match each other. Because I remember Sony for a while there was, instead of this blue color LEDs, fluorescent, whatever that's called, I think it was called vacuum fluorescent display or something weird. Sony for a while there had a green display. I have a VCR that is a Sony, and it has the display. I'm sorry, it has the green display. So anyway, so it's playing right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just stop it and just turn this back off. Ooh, blurry. So yeah, I have going back to the receiver, I actually have this wire here. I could take it out, so I can plug my phone into it and listen to music. I have a MP3 player I could plug into and play music through it. It actually, like I said, it sounds pretty good. But anyway, I think that's it for now. I'm gonna have different videos as we go, and Most of these aren't going to be edited. I'm just going to kind of do a one or maybe two shot on them. And if I repeat myself, I apologize. If I stumble on words, I apologize. I just not a big fan of editing. I just, just want to kind of record and go kind of thing. So anyway, I think that should do it. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to have more videos. Like I said, and there won't be one a day, or it might be once every couple weeks. I don't know. Just it's going to depend on if I have the time to do it. So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching, and I will put more videos up soon. Thank you. I just realized, going back over the first video here, that I forgot to finish my thought on a couple of things. And the first thing being that when I said I was 4 foot away from the furnace, that just meant it's gonna be kicking on and off here and there. I'm gonna try to compensate and talk a little louder over it because it is pretty noisy. And second thing was, I mentioned showing speakers, and I forgot to. So anyway, here they are. I got this one over here. They're called Soundmasters. They're actually called monitor speakers. I'm really not familiar with what that means, but temporarily I'm gonna find a better home for them. But for now, they're just, this one's propped up on a box, and I got another one over there. There's a file cabinet on the side of the desk here, and that's where the other one's sitting. So I can go ahead and pull this down, show you the inside. There is the tweeter, and there is the woofer. I don't know what wattage these are. I'm not real sure. But they have to be fairly high wattage. I'd say at least 50 to 60 or more. Because with this receiver, I mentioned it was 130 watts, and it pushes these speakers pretty good. So, I think I'm going to leave these hooked up for quite a while. I might as well, because, they sound good, they work good. And like I said, they sound pretty good for just sitting on a shelf for, 20 some odd years. So, anyway, I just wanted to clarify that, and again, thank you for watching, and more videos to come.